Frank is 73 years old. He lives in a quiet neighborhood in Texas, just outside San Antonio, retired now. He used to work for the Postal Service for nearly 4 decades. He was the type of guy who never missed a day, knew everyone on his route by name, and always took pride in doing things the right way. Since retirement, he has traded his uniform for gardening gloves. His small backyard is full of tomatoes, cucumbers, and herbs, and cooking has become one of his favorite ways to spend the day. Frank thought he was doing everything right when it came to his health. His meals were full of what most people would call healthy vegetables. He had a routine salads for lunch, mashed potatoes, or grilled eggplant with dinner, sometimes with green bell peppers from his garden. Not much sugar, not too much salt. He avoided processed foods. He even went for short walks most days to keep himself active. But something started to change around 6 months ago. At first, it was subtle. His knees felt a little stiff when he got out of bed. Then came the leg cramps at night, especially after a long day in the garden. Eventually, Frank began to notice a heaviness in his legs that would not go away. His steps became slower. Standing up from a chair took more effort than usual. And one day, while reaching for a towel in the bathroom, he lost his balance and slipped, not a major fall, but enough to scare him. He went to his doctor, thinking maybe it was just arthritis or part of getting older. But after a full checkup, the doctor surprised him. "Frank," he said, "it is not just your age. Some of the vegetables you are eating every day, yes, the ones you think are healthy, may actually be contributing to the inflammation in your legs and making your muscles weaker." Frank could not believe it. Vegetables. How could something so natural, something he had grown and prepared with his own hands, be the problem? But the doctor explained further. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to certain plant compounds. Some vegetables, especially from the nightshade family, contain substances that can trigger low-grade inflammation in people over 60, especially those with existing joint or circulation issues. Inflammation in the legs and joints does not always come from sugar or processed foods. Sometimes it comes from what we think are safe choices. In Frank's case, foods like white potatoes, eggplants, and green bell peppers, staples in his kitchen, were part of the problem. He left that appointment with mixed feelings, relieved to have an explanation, but shocked that something so ordinary could have such serious consequences. He thought back to how often he had eaten those foods over the years. How many times had he reached for a second helping of mashed potatoes, thinking he was doing no harm? How many mornings had he started with stiffness in his knees, brushing it off as nothing? The truth hit hard. It is not just what you eat. It is how your body responds to it as you age. And once you are past 70, your body does not forgive the way it used to. That is why this video may be one of the most important ones you watch all year, especially if you are over 60. Today, we are going to talk about 3 vegetables that support your balance, circulation, and leg strength. And just as importantly, 3 vegetables you should avoid if you want to keep walking steadily, avoid injury, and protect your independence. This is not about fear. It is about awareness. Nobody tells you that your favorite foods could be silently working against you. And this is not something you are likely to hear during a regular doctor visit or a quick conversation at the pharmacy. But you deserve to know, and you deserve to stay strong, upright, and in control of your own body without guessing in the dark. Now, before we get into the good and the bad of what is on your plate. Let us do something simple that helps more people see this. If you are watching and want to learn something that could actually help you feel better in your own body, go ahead and leave a comment below with the number 1. If you are feeling skeptical and not sure yet, that is completely okay. Just type 0 and stick around anyway. This conversation is not about hype, it is about clarity. And while you are at it, click the subscribe button and turn on the bell. That way, you will never miss a video that might make your next meal or your next step just a little bit safer. Frank's story is not rare. In fact, it is more common than most people think. But the good news is, small changes in your vegetable choices can make a big difference. Coming up, we will break down exactly what to eat more of and what to slowly phase out so you can stay steady, confident, and active well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Let us start with the first vegetable that quietly protects your eyesight, supports your nerves, and keeps your legs working the way you want them to. Are you ready? Let us get into it. Number 1. 3 vegetables that help seniors stay steady and strong. After 70. Now that we have heard Frank's story, it is time to get practical. The good news is, not every vegetable is a hidden threat. In fact, some vegetables are exactly what your body needs to stay balanced, sharp, and mobile after the age of 70. These foods do not just sit on your plate. They actively work behind the scenes, supporting your vision, protecting your nerves, and keeping your legs strong enough to carry you confidently through each day. Let us start with one that is probably already in your fridge, but deserves a little more respect: carrots. Carrots may seem ordinary, but for older adults, they are one of the most important vegetables you can eat. Why? Because they are loaded with beta-carotene, a compound your body converts into vitamin A. This vitamin plays a key role in maintaining healthy vision, especially as you age. According to research from Harvard Health, diets rich in beta-carotene have been shown to slow the progression of age-related macular degeneration, which is the leading cause of vision loss in people over 60. But the benefits do not stop at your eyes. Beta-carotene also supports your nervous system, including the delicate nerves that send signals between your brain and legs. That means better reaction times, quicker balance correction, and a reduced risk of falls. If you want to stay steady on your feet and avoid that dangerous moment when a small misstep turns into a life-changing injury, adding carrots to your daily meals is a smart choice. Carrots also help protect the retina, the nerve tissue in your eye that gives you detailed vision. That is what allows you to read a book, recognize faces, or navigate a crowded room without hesitation. When your eyesight remains sharp, your confidence follows. You feel safer walking, reaching, and reacting. That is how you hold on to your independence, not with luck, but with smart nutrition. Next, let us talk about broccoli specifically. Lightly steamed broccoli. This cruciferous vegetable may not be flashy, but it is a quiet powerhouse. One of its greatest strengths comes from a natural compound called sulforaphane. Sulforaphane has been widely studied for its anti-inflammatory effects. Inflammation is not just about joint pain. Chronic, low-grade inflammation slowly wears down your blood vessels, muscles, and even your brain. Over time, it chips away at the systems that keep you moving and thinking clearly. Sulforaphane works by triggering your body's internal detox systems, It helps your cells defend themselves, especially in areas like the legs, where good circulation is essential. For older adults dealing with conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure, this is especially important. Better blood flow to the legs means less swelling, fewer cramps, and stronger, more stable steps. But here is a warning most people miss: how you cook broccoli matters. If you boil it for too long or blast it in the microwave, you lose most of the sulforaphane. What is left is a soggy green lump that offers very little benefit. The solution is simple: steam your broccoli lightly, just until it is tender, but still bright green. This method keeps the nutrients intact and makes it easier to digest. Lightly steamed broccoli also contains vitamin K, calcium, and antioxidants that support both bone strength and heart health. The combination helps reduce the risk of fractures and keeps your arteries flexible, two critical factors for seniors who want to move freely and stay out of the hospital. 1 cup of broccoli a day is not a miracle, but it is a reliable step towards stronger legs, steadier balance, and better long-term mobility. Finally, let us talk about spinach. This leafy green is more than just a salad filler. For people over 70, it is one of the most important foods for blood flow and brain function. What makes spinach special is its high level of natural nitrates. Nitrates help widen your blood vessels, which improves circulation to your muscles and brain. That means more oxygen, more energy, and better control over your movements. As you get older, your circulation naturally slows. That is why your legs may feel heavy after walking, or your reflexes may not be as sharp. Spinach helps reverse some of that decline. It improves how blood moves through your lower body, reducing the chances of feeling unstable, dizzy, or worn out after light activity. Spinach also contains lutein and folate, two nutrients linked to better memory and clearer thinking. Lutein is stored in your brain tissue, where it protects against cognitive decline. People who eat lutein-rich foods regularly tend to perform better on memory tests and experience less mental fog. If you want to stay sharp and remember names, appointments, and everyday details, spinach should be on your plate more often. Spinach is also a strong ally for eye health. Along with lutein, it contains zeaxanthin, another compound that protects the macula, the part of the eye responsible for sharp central vision. Together, they help slow the aging of your eyes, reduce glare sensitivity, and improve how you see in low-light conditions. The best way to prepare spinach: keep it simple. Lightly sauté it in a small amount of olive oil, or toss it raw into a smoothie. Avoid boiling or overcooking it, which can strip away the nutrients you are trying to preserve. And skip the canned or over-processed versions. Fresh or frozen spinach delivers more benefit with fewer additives or sodium. When you bring these 3 vegetables into your meals: carrots, lightly steamed broccoli, and spinach, you are not just eating healthy. You are making specific, targeted choices that support the systems most at risk as you age. Your eyesight, your circulation, your reflexes, and your leg strength all depend on the nutrients these vegetables provide. The point is not perfection, it is consistency. A half cup here, a side dish there, it all adds up. These vegetables are not fancy, they are not trendy, but they work. They help you stay upright, confident, and engaged in the life you want to live. Coming up, we will look at the other side of the story: the vegetables that may look innocent, but could be quietly working against your balance, your strength, and your safety. Do not go anywhere. What you learn next could change the way you build your grocery list forever. Number 2, 3 vegetables that weaken your legs and increase your fall risk. Now that we have covered the vegetables that support your strength, balance, and circulation, it is time to shift gears and talk about the other side of the plate. These are the vegetables that may look harmless or even healthy, but can silently work against your body, especially if you are over 70. You may have eaten these for years without thinking twice, but research shows they can contribute to inflammation, nerve irritation, and decreased mobility. If you are already feeling less stable on your feet or experiencing leg pain, it is worth taking a closer look at what might be contributing to the problem. Let us begin with one of the most common vegetables in American kitchens, white potatoes. White potatoes are a comfort food for many. They are mashed at holiday dinners, fried at restaurants, or baked and topped with sour cream at family lunches. But for seniors, especially those with blood sugar issues or circulation problems, white potatoes come with hidden risks. They are high on the glycemic index, which means they break down quickly into sugar once digested. This causes a rapid spike in blood sugar levels, followed by a sharp drop. These swings are not just hard on your pancreas. They also increase systemic inflammation and damage the small blood vessels that carry oxygen and nutrients to your legs and feet. Over time, this process can lead to reduced circulation in your lower limbs. That means your muscles do not get the oxygen they need, and your nerves begin to lose sensitivity. This is why some people experience tingling in their toes or feel like their legs are heavier after a meal that includes white potatoes. The effect is subtle. At first, a little stiffness here, a slow reaction there, but it adds up if your body is already working harder to stay balanced. These kinds of inflammatory responses can push it over the edge. There is also the issue of how white potatoes are typically prepared. Many recipes call for heavy cream, cheese, butter, or salt, all of which contribute to high blood pressure and weight gain. These dishes taste great, but they do not support leg strength or joint health. In contrast, sweet potatoes, especially when baked or lightly roasted, offer more antioxidants, more fiber, and a slower, more stable release of glucose. Their rich orange color is a signal of the beta-carotene and anti-inflammatory compounds inside. Swapping out white potatoes for sweet potatoes can make a noticeable difference over time. Next, let us talk about eggplant. This deep purple vegetable may look healthy and is often used in Mediterranean cooking, including one of Frank's favorite dishes, ratatouille. But after his leg pain worsened, Frank removed eggplant from his diet completely. Why? Because eggplant is part of the nightshade family, a group of vegetables that contain a chemical called solanine. Solanine is a natural defense mechanism for the plant. In the human body, especially in older adults with arthritis or sensitive nerves, it can act as a mild toxin. Solanine has been linked to increased inflammation in joints and irritation in nerve pathways. If you are someone who wakes up with stiff knees, aching hips, or a dull burn in your calves, solanine might be making it worse. The problem is not always immediate. Like many food-based reactions, the damage builds slowly. A small dose of solanine here and there might not cause symptoms, but over weeks, months, or years, that low-grade inflammation can lead to chronic discomfort, slower walking speed, and even reduced muscle control. You might roast eggplant, grill it, or blend it into sauces, but the chemical stays active. Cooking does not remove the solanine entirely. If you already have trouble with joint mobility, nerve pain, or muscle fatigue, eggplant is one vegetable to reconsider. There are plenty of other options: zucchini, yellow squash, or mushrooms that offer similar texture without the same risks. Finally, let us talk about green bell peppers, like eggplants. They also belong to the nightshade family. At first glance, green bell peppers seem like a smart choice. They are low in calories, crunchy, and easy to throw into salads or stir-fries. But the issue lies in a plant protein called lectin. Lectins act as a defense for the plant, but in the human body, especially in older adults, they can cause problems. Lectins can bind to the lining of the gut and interfere with nutrient absorption. As you age, your digestive system becomes less efficient, your gut lining thins, and your microbiome changes. When lectins enter the system under these conditions, they may increase inflammation, particularly in the blood vessels and joints. You might not feel it after one meal, but over time, the signs start to appear: tightness in your ankles, a slight loss of coordination, or a sense that your legs are not responding as they used to. For people who already manage arthritis, nerve sensitivity, or digestive issues, green bell peppers can quietly worsen symptoms. The good news is that their ripened counterparts, red, orange, and yellow bell peppers, contain fewer lectins and significantly more antioxidants. These colorful alternatives are harvested later, which allows their sugar profile to mature and their lectin content to decrease. They also contain higher levels of vitamin C and carotenoids, which protect against oxidative stress. It is important to understand that not every person will react the same way to these vegetables. Some seniors may eat them and feel fine, but for many others, especially those already dealing with balance problems or muscle weakness, these foods may be tipping the scales in the wrong direction. Your body changes after 70. The foods you tolerated in your 50s may now contribute to inflammation, circulation issues, and decreased stability. This is not about cutting out entire food groups or living in fear of vegetables. It is about paying attention, listening to your body, trying alternatives that give you better results. You do not need to make huge changes overnight, but if you can remove even one or two of these problem vegetables from your weekly meals and replace them with better options, your legs, joints, and nerves will thank you. Coming up next, we will wrap up with a clear, simple summary of what to eat, what to avoid, and how to build meals that help you stay upright, active, and independent, not just this week, but for the years ahead. Number 3, conclusion. Small actions, big results. Now that you know which vegetables can support your strength and which ones might be quietly working against it, the next step is simple: take action. You do not need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. You do not need to throw out everything in your fridge. But if you are serious about protecting your mobility, your balance, and your independence, the food on your plate is one of the most powerful tools you have. So here is what I recommend. For the next 7 days, try a small experiment. Remove 3 vegetables from your regular meals: white potatoes, eggplant, and green bell peppers. These are the ones most likely to contribute to inflammation, poor circulation, and nerve irritation in the legs. If you have been experiencing stiffness, soreness, or swelling in your knees, ankles, or feet, taking a break from these vegetables might be more helpful than you expect. At the same time, add in 3 vegetables that do the opposite: steamed carrots, lightly steamed broccoli, and sautéed spinach. These support your blood vessels, protect your nerves, and enhance communication between your brain and your body. They help sharpen your reflexes, ease joint pressure, and keep your legs feeling more responsive and less heavy. The goal is not perfection, it is progress. Try to include at least 2 of these vegetables in each day's meals. That could mean steamed carrots with your lunch, sautéed spinach at dinner, or a broccoli side dish with your eggs in the morning. The combinations are endless, and they do not have to be fancy. You just need consistency. But do not stop there. I want you to become your own researcher as you go through the week. Start paying attention not just to what you eat, but to how you feel afterward. Take a moment after each meal and ask yourself a few questions. Do your legs feel lighter or more energized? Are your joints less stiff? Do you notice less tingling or cramping by the end of the day? Are you sleeping more deeply? Do you wake up with fewer aches? You might be surprised by how quickly your body responds to even small changes. The truth is, our bodies are always trying to heal, trying to find balance. But when we unknowingly fuel inflammation with certain foods, we block that healing process. By simply removing a few of the wrong ingredients and replacing them with the right ones, you give your body the support it needs to do its job. Frank did this exact experiment. He swapped out the mashed potatoes and roasted eggplant for sweet potatoes and broccoli. He replaced the green bell peppers in his stir-fry with red ones. He added spinach to his omelets, and by the end of that first week, he noticed something small but meaningful. His knees did not hurt when he stood up. His legs did not feel as heavy. He walked a little more each day. That was enough to keep going. The power of this kind of change is not in how fast it happens. It is in how sustainable it is. Once you feel a little better, you are more likely to keep making good choices, and that momentum builds. You begin walking more. You become less afraid of stairs or curbs. You trust your legs again. And that is how you reclaim your independence, not with pills or perfect discipline, but with small, steady adjustments that match what your body truly needs. And here is something else to remember. You do not have to do this alone. If you are watching this and thinking, I am not sure where to start, that is okay. You are not behind. You are right on time. That is why I make these videos, to give you simple, no-nonsense advice that works in real life. So, here is my challenge to you. For the next week, make just 2 changes. Cut out those 3 problem vegetables. Add in the 3 helpful ones. And take 5 minutes at the end of each day to reflect. Write it down if you want. Talk about it with your spouse. Just pay attention. Your body will tell you what works. You just need to listen. You do not need fancy diets or expensive supplements. You do not need to be perfect. All you need is to make choices that match where you are in life right now. And the truth is, every meal is a chance to do just that. Every plate you prepare is a quiet investment in your balance, your energy, and your freedom. Remember, you are not too old to feel strong again. You are not too old to improve your health. You are not too old to make choices that protect your body and your future. Do not let anyone, including that little voice in your head, convince you otherwise. If you found this video helpful, let me know. Type the number 1 in the comments if you are ready to try this experiment for yourself, or type 0 if you are still unsure. And I will make a follow-up video to go even deeper and answer your questions. Either way, I am here to support you. Your feedback helps me know what to cover next. And if this message helped you, it might help someone else too, so feel free to share it with a friend, a spouse, or someone you care about. You do not have to change everything in one night, but you can change something at your very next meal. And that is where the real power lies. Stay grounded. Stay steady. You are stronger than you think.